Building upon your foundation, the art of stabilizing yourself for success. Advisory warning. I'm not a medical professional, lawyer, or financial advisor. Any advice given is in an attempt to inform and advise and is not a one-size-fits-all. I make no guarantees of any results, nor shall I be held accountable for the actions you take using this information. By continuing to stay in this call, you agree to hold none of the hosts or creators of this call accountable or responsible for anything that results from you watching this call. Viewer discretion is advised. Who am I? I am Kinta Naomi, the guy that helps people become the best they can be instead of becoming another gear in the system. I'm making this short series to help people in this time of need and plan to make all the replays and worksheets free as long as they are accessible. This series is inspired by faith, and while it uses religious subjects, it's done in such a way that anyone can use it, whether you have the same religion, a different one, or none at all. Without further ado, let's get into the meat of things. Building your foundation. What is a foundation? A foundation is where you stand, what you stand on, and the hill you'll die on. It is your starting point, the platform for you to build your life off of. While mine is my church's doctrine, and the goal of starting my schools, yours does not have to be. Building your foundation. I advise finding a religion and or philosophy to start and a big goal or a ikigai to climb up. Once you dive in, continue seeking for your truth. Modify that truth as you find it until you know your foundation is perfect. Make sure to ask questions and you seek answers in whatever foundation you choose. Changing your foundation. Imperfect foundations are fallible. If yours turns out to be, you may need to completely redo it. If part of your foundation is the same, like when I changed denominations of Christianity, you can still use a majority of it. If the new one is far different, like for example, going from paganism to Christianity, you may be starting from ruins. If so, be prepared to take a few months to fix it. Improving your foundation. In business and spirituality, a foundation isn't something you can set then ignore. Even in real estate, a foundation can be damaged and needs improvement. Actively and offensively, improving your foundation will ensure its longevity. Always be growing your testimony, testing your beliefs, and learning. If you do this and have a true foundation, your foundation will never fail. Reinforcing your foundation. Your foundation is fundamental to your success. Once it's firm, you may need to reinforce it. Figure out the threats and potential threats to your foundation. Once you know them, prepare as if those threats are guaranteed to come true. If you can prepare for the bad, only the good will have any power over your life. Ethics and beliefs. To build a foundation, it's important to know your ethics and beliefs. These are some examples with my personal ones at the beginning. Is lying wrong or needed in the right situation? Is there a God, or do we assign our own meanings to life? Is the universe inconsistent, or is science infallible? Start asking questions and finding your own answers. Even the true religion is useless if you're just following blindly without beliefs. Question life, test your beliefs, and be prepared to defend your choices. What is a philosophy? I define philosophy as a way of living. This is the belief system or set of beliefs that dictates how you live and go through life. You can get these beliefs from a religion. You could adopt a philosophy such as Buddhism, Tao, Rosicrucianism, Stoicism, science, or Omnioto, or just take the beliefs you have and build off of them. Ikigai. In the last class, we learned about finding your Ikigai, or reason for being. You can use your Ikigai to start building your foundation. Once you have a foundation, you can use your Ikigai to make sure your foundation supports the life you want. I am the guy/girl that helps X do Y. Example, I am the guy that helps people with untapped potential become their best selves instead of another stagnant gear in the system. Find this for yourself. Having this statement will help you to have direction and will help you to tell others what you stand for. You can always change it later if you need to. Parable of the Sower. This parable is one that almost every Christian knows and talks about growing your faith. I'd like to use this to show what can happen if you lack a foundation or have a bad foundation. Without further ado, let's dive into this value. Mark 4:4. And it came to pass that as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and the fowls of the air came and devoured it up. Many people fall by the wayside having no foundation and going whatever way life pushes them. As they are pushed aimlessly, they are eaten alive from the inside out. As their emotional health fades, so does their physical health with time. Any ground is better than this. Mark 4:5. And some fell on stony ground, where it had not much earth, and immediately it sprang up, because it had no depth of earth. But when the sun was up, it was scorched, and because it had no root, it withered away. Without a deep foundation, many will try their best for a time, but when failure gets too much or difficulty gets too high, they give up. If this is what your foundation is like, you need to dig deeper or find a new one. Know your beliefs and find something worth fighting for. Mark 4:7. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up, and it choked it, and it yielded no fruit. Even if you're on solid ground, your environment can suffocate you, be it unsupportive family, friends, or teachers, discouragement and distractions, or luxuries. If your environment discourages your growth, you won't grow in that environment. Do whatever it takes to be in a good environment, even if you have to lock yourself into a room or work whilst on a walk. Mark 4:8. And other fell on good ground, and did yield fruit that sprang up and increased, and brought forth some 30, some 60, and some 100. This is the prize of a solid, deep, and firm foundation. Eventual reward and rewards that increase and grow unto you. Safety net. Safety nets are good to have, but bad to rely on. If you don't want to live the life the safety net or backup plan provides, it is a spiked trap. Don't fall for it. The only plan B you should have is one that helps you get to plan A. If it doesn't, treat it as an execution method, a life of mediocrity and regret. Expect success, don't expect failure. Finding your motivation. What do you want but can't get yet? Let me know in the comments. This doesn't have to be grandiose and can be something selfish. A wife, a Bentley, going to Disneyland, having a watch made of precious gemstones, silver in all your food, etc. Whatever it is, embrace that motivation as long as you find it ethical. It's selfish to stop or slow your progress because you don't want to feel selfish. Turning from demotivators. While there are things that motivate you, there are others that demotivate. These things may even sound good or motivate others. If they demotivate you, avoid them or cut them out entirely as soon as possible. Demotivators are like poison, while motivators are like sweet medicine. Building your testimony. Your testimony is the proof you have of your path. No one else needs to believe this or even hear it. This is for you. And the more you have, the more certain you will be. This can be personal experience, someone who's succeeded before you, divine revelation, intuition, someone else's testimony, and many more things. Holding fast to your testimony. Once you have a testimony, write it down, record it, do whatever it takes to remember it. Testimonies have a tendency to expire if they are not reviewed regularly. Use them to remember what you stand for and where you're going. The stronger your testimony and the more you have, the more resilient you will be. Those that support you. In the last class, we learned about the resource relationships. In that, we learned how you can tell who supports you by seeing how they react to your goals and ikigai. It's important to find who supports you. They will help you stand on your foundation. Those that don't support you will tear down your foundation. Find support. Very rarely will you have sufficient support without seeking it out. Find friends and family that will encourage you. Gather mentors. Join new friend groups. Find online communities on the same subject. Go to live events, etc. Find and surround yourself with people and communities that support you. And ignore anyone that doesn't. Where do you stand? Many never ask themselves this powerful question. There are many working a 9-to-5 rat race job just to escape life on video games and Netflix once they get home. That will never be me, and was only partially me in parts of grade school where I didn't know any better. I want you to know better. I want you to stand steadfast, either working towards or in a life you love. Growing off of your foundation. Once your foundation is set, you can start growing off of it. Taking action, completing goals, allocating resources, following your newfound direction, collecting lessons until you get some wins in. This part is far more outwards, but this part will give you tangible results. Building a path towards your destination. Once you have a foundation and an ikigai, you can plot your path to that destination. Sometimes this is direct, life like making your YouTube videos from your phone. Sometimes it has a lot of steps like building business, raising wealth, getting certifications to start your own school. Once you have a destination, plan out the steps to get there. Mindset change. Your mindset determines your success. You determine your mindset. Changing your mindset won't be instant, but it starts with acknowledgement and awareness. The next step is to actively catch the thoughts and redirect them. If you use meditation, this should be easier. If you're not, start meditating. Having one of these mindsets doesn't mean they encompass everything. They could be in just one thing. For example, you could have control of many aspects of your life, but victimize yourself when it comes to road rage. Try to recognize these and catch the ones you can. Mindset. Lying to yourself, compulsive lying. A lying mindset is a hard one to break. Lying to yourself causes a lack of confidence, distortion of reality, and can be rationalized as fake it till you make it. The difference between lying and faking is lying covers stuff up, while faking encourages action and improvement. To fix this, you need to recognize every lie and fix them. I'm fine and I'm terrible at X are common ones you can start with if you have this mindset. Mindset, distortion of reality. A distortion of reality mindset causes you to ignore what's happening around you in favor of a fantasy. Do not confuse this for envisioning the future. This is where you have problems and you try to ignore them until they go away, either purposefully or accidentally. This can cause problems to burn out of proportions, even if they started as something easy to fix. To fix this mindset, take a moment to see your life as it really is. The cure is to face the music, take responsibility for everything, then fix things one at a time. Mindset people pleaser. A people pleasing mindset leads you to spend your resources trying to impress others. This can cause self sabotage in exchange for momentary appreciation, if anything. To fix this, stop caring about what others think and focus on impressing yourself. Know whatever appreciation you get from them probably won't matter in 10 years, but your loss in resources will. Taking risk. No risk, no reward. This is a cliche because it's true. Playing it safe and comfortable will keep you where you are. Take educated risks, and stepping out of your comfort zone are the basis of growth. Remember that parable of the talents? The one who lost everything took no risks. The others took risk and got their rewards. Make sure you take risks. Make sure you take action. Never play it safe. Betting on yourself. You are the only person you can control. You should bet on what you can control. Both of these sentences are true. The logical conclusion is to bet on yourself. Expect that you'll come out victorious and act accordingly. If you do this, you'll increase your chance of success and profit once you reach success. If you bet against yourself, whether you succeed at the action or fail, it's impossible for you not to lose. It's possible for you to not lose. Mindset victim. A victim mindset is where you think the bad things in your life are the fault of others or your circumstance. Even if this is true, this surrenders any control you could have had to others. To fix this, take responsibility for everything in your life, even if it's not your fault, even if it's something so severe to cause severe PTSD. Once you have responsibility over it, you can control it. Dealing with haters. Haters are going to hate and you can't change that. What you can do is take it as a sign of success. Having a hater means that you're big enough part of their lives for them to spend their time harassing you, meaning there is someone paying you their time because they are obsessed with you, be it for good or for bad. Haters versus critics. Haters usually offer no value, just empty insults. Critics, on the other hand, can offer constructive information. In short, if they say, go X and Y, they're a hater. If they say, I don't like this or I hate how you did that, they're a critic. Now, not all critics are helpful, but some of them are. Helpful or not, they do have your best interest in heart, even if it sounds insulting, and are trying to help, even if they're bad at it. Time vampires. These seem good. And time vampires usually won't know they're doing anything wrong. Usually they think it's good for both of you, and it can be. A time vampire is someone who continuously takes away your time and pulls you from your work. Don't be harsh to them. Just keep this in mind and use this knowledge to control your time better. You can go to them and explain. explain that right now you're working and you're not really available at this time, or just let them know that we can hang out another time. I'm busy right now. The value of your time. How much is your time worth? This is an important figure to know. Say you're paid $12 an hour, that means an hour of your time is worth $12. So if you spend 2 hours watching a $5 movie, that's a $29 movie. If your path involves entrepreneurship, your time can get into 3 to 4 digits for an hour of work. Is that movie still worth it at $2,005? Let me know in the chat what you think. Add value first. Last class, we talked about the resource value. A great way to build resources is to give value away for free, like this. Giving value will make others want to give value, but only if they think you don't want anything in return. So give value and don't expect a return on the value you freely give away. Mentorship. Earlier today and last class, we learned about finding a mentor. For growth, having a mentor is key. Can you imagine if St. Peter never learned from Christ? Or if Alexander the Great didn't have Aristotle to teach him? They would have been nothing and probably wouldn't have even tried. You are trying. By watching this, I know you want to be great. So how better would you be with great guidance? Entrepreneurship. Let's water down the definition to building a life that's under your own control. You can build an amazing life by spending 20 hours a week on focused study and action. Question: why would you pay some guy twice that for less? Type in your answer into the comments. There are single mothers with full-time jobs spending 18 hours in college classes with passing grades and making ends meet. And I agree with that comment, that it is worth your time to spend with family members, even if it's a lot of money is worth the time. With entrepreneurship, most of them aren't geniuses. They're not superpowered, aren't blessed with super motivation or resources. They are motivated by someone they love. If they can do that, you can spend 10 hours more working on learning whatever skill you want to build the life that you want. Work and human nature. Human nature is to work on the things we love and to survive. Plenty of people spend their lives working 20 to 40 hours a week in misery, making somebody else rich. Entrepreneurs find ways to spend 20 to 40 hours a week or less enriching their lives and making themselves rich doing something they love. There is no reason you can't do the same within the next 5 years. Growth mindset. Want to know the reason entrepreneurs constantly win? They have a growth mindset. They won't stop at their ikigai. They'll keep going. If you only want to make $20,000 a month, once you get there, you will find a way to never make more than $20,000 a month. My life's goal of starting my school is the 4th step I have on my written out career path. I have an 8-step written out career path and stuff that I plan to do afterwards. Have a growth mindset and you won't stop growing. World independence is one of the goals of entrepreneurship. This is where the world doesn't have control over your life. Once you hit this, tragedies like a plague or global depression become inconveniences at worst and opportunities at best. I know entrepreneurs who have benefited strongly by this plague, while small businesses collapse. This takes work, but is possible for every single person here. World independence, financial confidence. If you lost everything but the clothes on your back and what you know, how long would it take you to get back to your success? This is financial confidence. Steve Jobs is a great example of this. When he was kicked out of Apple, he went and created a new company based on the operating system Apple needed. He went from nobody to being a new essential part of a company he didn't need, and he was able to convince Apple to buy it from him in exchange for hiring him back on. And then he rose back to the top of Apple again. Can I tell you a secret? Do you know what this new system lacked? An operating system. Resources on demand. Part of world dependence is having resources on demand. This is where you can create the value and quickly get any resource you need. From the outside, this looks like someone magically gets whatever they want for free, and often can lead to other people judging them. This does take work, effort, and value, but getting to this point means you can quickly create the value or trade for whatever resource you need. Starting from where you are, no matter what your goal is, you can't start from somewhere else. Waiting till you're good enough or smart enough is a strategy of inaction and will lead to failure. Whether you're a trust fund baby, a homeless beggar, or anywhere in between, you have to start from where you are. You have what you have, make a plan starting with what you have. Be it scrounging up 10 cents for a piece of paper from the library, or borrowing a piece of your daddy's letterhead. Learning and diving in. As you learn, you will grow. Make sure whenever you learn a new skill, you dive into it. Go for mastery, and you'll have a skill you can rely on. Take notes, spend hours upon hours learning, and learn everything you can. Learn as if you will become the best person in the world at that skill, and own what you want to do. Start with a good question. Whenever you ask yourself a question, your mind will answer it. For example, if you ask, why did this happen to me? Your mind will come up with reasons on why you deserve this or you've caused this yourself. So ask good questions. A great way to start is to ask how instead of why. While basic substitution like how did this happen to me can work, it can help to completely fix the question. Try how can I fix this? And your mind will start coming up with answers on how to fix this. Mindset scarcity. This is the most commonly flawed mindset that is talked about by schools and many entrepreneurs alike. A scarcity mindset is where you think your resources aren't enough. This can be hard to break, especially if you struggle to meet ends meet. To break this mindset, work to count your blessings and to believe you have an abundance. Even if it's not liquid assets, there are many resources available to you. Even if it's only your fellow homeless friends and a library computer. Hint, GoFundMe plus copywriting plus SEO for those in that situation. Adding to yourself. Last class, We learned about adding the attributes you like in others to yourself to improve your self-trust and confidence. This is a great way to grow off of your foundation. Use people, celebrities, even fictional characters as a showroom to find attributes you like, see them in action, and add them unto yourself over time. Small wins equal momentum, be it in a day or throughout a section of your life. Focus on making small wins and use those to build your momentum. A small win can be as simple as not pressing snooze or as complicating as writing a class. This is still a big win for me, for the record. Just make sure it's easy and simple to you. Getting 3 wins in a row will give you momentum to push through the day and start getting big wins in that day. This is also great for adding to your testimony. Mindset failure. A failure mindset sees failure as something wrong with the person. This leads to a lack of confidence and quitting. To fix this, learn that every failure and loss has 1,000 lessons. Learn that each one of those lessons are a gift to be cherished. Once you learn this, you can start seeing outcomes as either wins or lessons learned, with the only failure existing if you give up. Kaizen. Last class we talked about Kaizen, the practice of small improvements every day, making huge change. Make sure to try and improve every single day and don't expect to build Rome in a day. Figure out what small things you can learn or do today and use these small things to grow off of your foundation. Work like Nehemiah. Nehemiah had many who would discourage him from the great works he did. In this verse is his response to all the naysayers and distractions. Nehemiah 6:3. And I sent messengers unto them, saying, I am doing a great work, so that I cannot come down. Why should the work cease whilst I leave it and come down to you? There are many things that will delay you from your work, what you're working on. You need to make sure that this time you set to work goes uninterrupted and that you don't give up. Succeed, or change your mind. There is no tried. Shiny object syndrome. Last class we learned about how there are many options for your success, and shiny object syndrome causes you to bounce between them. Having a foundation, an overarching goal, can give you direction. Direction can let you push away every option, even if it's good, besides the one you're pursuing. Make sure you stay on track. It doesn't matter if a new opportunity is guaranteed to work and guaranteed to make you rich overnight. Don't jump off of what you're doing until you complete or decide that you need to change your direction. Mindset comparison. A comparison mindset will leave you envying others or beating yourself up for not measuring up to them. Especially for high schoolers, this can cause contention, self-hate, and loneliness. To fix this, remember that everyone is on their own path. If Tony Hawk judges himself on his skills in quantum mechanics, he would live his entire life in failure. You can take what you see in others as inspiration, just don't envy. Envying is to want to take from others what you lack. The whole "if I can't have it, no one can" stems from this emotion. Inspiration is to become motivated to work from what others have. If you see someone with something you want, be it clothes, other stuff, skill, or morale/ethic system, be inspired to add them to yourself. If you can go through life using this to be motivated to action, you'll do well. Don't envy, be inspired to add the attribute you'd like in others to yourself. Journaling. Journaling is a great way to keep track of your life and progress, your goals, what happens in your life. Whether you use your notebook, a planner, Google Drive, or even a sketchbook, keep a daily journal or diary. Journaling. How I journal. Besides my book of lights and my weekday time tracking, I have a 3-day notebook by my bed. 3-section notebook by my bed. Those sections are dream journal, gratitude journal, and attraction goals. The gratitude journal is where I write 5 things I'm grateful for from that day. These can be big, but often small, like I made ramen one day with bone broth, and it was delicious. Attraction goals are things I want to happen tomorrow or soon. I don't write in the attraction goals journal daily, but I check these every night and check a check mark, or if they're completed, check mark with a line through it for attempts or progress. These can be goals or they can be wishes, like from The Secret. I only put an X if I made one too specific and it expires. Don't make these too specific. Dream journal is just writing down my dreams for evaluation and lucidity. Build your life. This is your one life and you only have one shot. Do not throw away your shot on mediocrity. Don't be another stagnant gear in the system. Build your life. Build it in a way you want it to be. Take action now. Never settle for anything less. And make yourself proud. Let me know in the chat how you plan to take action and any questions you might have. I'll answer everyone I can for a short while after this. To let me know what you thought or what I did wrong, feel free to give feedback here. I'm looking at the chat for questions, if any are there. Keep motivation up. Besides small wins, do things that feel motivating to you and add energy to your day, as well as avoid the things that can cause you to want to hesitate or want to quit. There are tons of action. I'm trying to find a slide. There it is. There are tons of things out there probably that you'd love. It could be reading scriptures. It could be watching that $29 movie. It could be motivating music from your favorite musical. Find things that energize you and that makes you excited to get work done, and increase those in your life while decreasing the things that de-energize you, exhaust you, or make you just want to go and hide in bed, because we all have those things. Are there any other questions? No problem. I'm glad you enjoyed this. I hope you stay tuned, check out the replays, do the worksheets. Our retardant worksheets, I think they can really help with this. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.